The Sweetest Apu is generally a decent episode of The Simpsons and very well written, especially the badminton scene. I know it's really short and I wish it was longer, but that scene I just thought was fabulous. It milked everything, but it worked. The Sweetest Apu is the 19th episode of the 13th season of The Simpsons, directed by Jim Reardon and Matthew Nastuk, and it starts off in the Quickie Mart, but then we go to a Civil War reenactment. I feel like that scene maybe played out a little bit longer than it should have done. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but I feel like it could have got to the main narrative a little bit more quickly. But the main narrative, once it kicks in, involves Homer accidentally seeing, well, kind of accidentally, but also walked in on Apu having an affair with the squishy girl. And Homer tells Marge, and they don't know exactly what to do to begin with, and then they're playing badminton with Apu and Manjula, and as I said, that scene's just wonderful. And it's all about Apu trying to get Manjula back and trying to convince her that he is sorry and won't cheat again. Obviously, the message of this episode is very clear: don't cheat, because there's no good that's going to come of it. And Apu learns this lesson very quickly, but it doesn't mean that all of his problems are solved immediately. And I think it's a decent narrative. I think it's got enough unpredictability in it. Manjula was believable. I believed her reactions right throughout it, and I believed Apu as well. I felt like he was genuinely remorseful and regretted what he did. I'm a little bit surprised by what he did. Like, if you were to say to me, name 5 characters in The Simpsons who'd have an affair, Apu probably wouldn't have come top. But at the same time, I also believe his motivations because of marital problems and, Manjula never wanting to sleep with him because of, her own reasons. That, yeah, I understand it, but it wouldn't have been my top choice. But I guess that makes it surprising, unpredictable in a lot of regard. And I think Homer was pretty admirable in this as well, because he could have gone off in a different direction with this information and gossiped about it. And I mean, he told a couple of people, but I think he realised the seriousness of the situation and handled it quite well. It is a very funny episode for a lot of it. Very well written. So many double entendres, and it made me laugh quite a lot. But it's also dealing with a serious subject that unfortunately a lot of people will be able to relate to and connect with. And hopefully, if anybody watching it is thinking about cheating, it will be enough to convince them to not do it. If it convinces even one person to change their mind about infidelity, then it's done a good thing. From my perspective, it's well written, it's entertaining. I think the balance between humour and seriousness is pretty spot on. So for me, The Sweetest Apu is definitely a good episode.